Have you ever felt like someone was subtly influencing your thoughts, emotions, or decisions without you even realizing it? Well, congratulations. You might have been a victim of psychological manipulation. But don't worry, because today, we're exposing the 15 most common tactics manipulators use, so you'll never fall for them again. Welcome to my channel. If you enjoy learning about human psychology and self-defense against manipulation, make sure to stick around. Before we dive in, here's a quick question. Which manipulation tactic do you think is the most dangerous? Guilt-tripping, gaslighting, or silent treatment? Think about it, and I'll reveal the answer at the end. Let's start with guilt-tripping. Ever had someone say, "I sacrificed my whole life for you and now you won't even give me 2 hours of your time?" Yep, classic guilt-tripping. It makes you feel guilty for things that aren't really your fault, pushing you to act against your will. Manipulators love using this one because it works like a charm. Next, we have gaslighting, one of the most dangerous tactics. This is when someone makes you doubt your own memory and reality. Imagine telling your partner, "You said last night that you didn't want to be with me anymore." And they reply, "I never said that. You always imagine things." Over time, you start questioning your own sanity, exactly what they want. Now, let's talk about emotional blackmail. According to Dr. Susan Forward, this process has 4 stages. A request, resistance from the victim, the manipulator applying emotional pressure, and finally, the victim giving in. For instance, a friend might say, "If you don't come to the party with me tonight, I'll never talk to you again." It's a sneaky way to control your actions using fear and guilt. Then, there's silent treatment, a masterclass in passive-aggressive manipulation. Your partner gets mad and suddenly, you're living with a ghost. No replies, no eye contact, nothing. This forces you to make the first move to reconcile, even when you weren't wrong. Newsflash, that's not love, it's control. Fifth, we have playing the victim. Some people constantly paint themselves as the victim to gain sympathy and make you feel responsible for their problems. A classic example? A coworker whining, "Everyone here treats me badly, you're the only one who helps me." Next thing you know, you're doing their work for them while they sit back and relax. Next is humiliation and criticism. Manipulators love making you feel small so they can feel big. A spouse might say, "You never understand what I'm saying. How many times do I have to explain?" Over time, this chips away at your confidence until you stop speaking up altogether. Then comes lying and withholding information. This happens when someone hides the truth or twists facts to serve their own interests. A classic example? Your boss saying, "We never discussed a salary raise," when you clearly had that conversation last week. Suddenly you're questioning reality again. If you're known for being kind and helpful, a manipulator might say, "You always love helping people, so of course you can do this for me, right?" They use your own goodness against you. So, back to our question, which tactic is the most dangerous? The answer is gaslighting. Why? Because it erodes your perception of reality, making you easier to manipulate in every other way. If you constantly doubt yourself, you'll believe anything they say. Number 8, love bombing and emotional roller coasters. At first, they drown you in love, gifts, and attention. Then, once you're hooked, they turn cold and distant. This keeps your brain craving the initial love and attention they gave you, like a toxic addiction. Then there's comparison. Ever heard, "Your cousin is so successful, I wish you were like her"? Or, "Look at my friend's wife, she planned an amazing trip for him." This tactic makes you feel inadequate and forces you to seek their approval. 10th on the list is reversing victim and offender. If you confront a manipulator about their wrongdoing, they flip the script to make themselves the victim. Imagine catching someone lying, and instead of apologizing, they say, "You always doubt me. You're so controlling. Suddenly, you're on the defensive instead of holding them accountable. Next, we have distraction. This happens when a manipulator changes the subject to avoid answering a difficult question. You ask, "Why did you delete those messages?" And they respond, "You should work on your trust issues." Boom. Now the focus is on you, not their sketchy behavior. Then, there's projection. This is when someone accuses you of doing exactly what they're guilty of. You say, "I feel like you're taking advantage of my kindness." And they respond, "I was just thinking the same thing about you." You always play the victim. Classic manipulation. Next is creating dependency. Manipulators make you feel like you can't survive without them. They might say, "Without me, you'll never succeed in this country." Or, "You're not allowed to work. You don't need your own income." The goal? To trap you in their control. The 14th tactic is fear-based manipulation. This is when someone exploits your fears to control you. A spouse might say, "If you keep arguing, I'll take the kids away from you." The goal is to make you comply out of fear rather than reason. And finally, we have exploiting personal values. If you're known for being kind and helpful, a manipulator might say, "You always love helping people, so of course you can do this for me, right?" They use your own goodness against you. So, back to our question. Which tactic is the most dangerous? The answer is gaslighting. Why? Because it erodes your perception of reality, making you easier to manipulate in every other way. If you constantly doubt yourself, you'll believe anything they say. Now that you know these tactics, how do you protect yourself from them? Stay tuned for the next video where I'll teach you how to counter psychological manipulation effectively. And if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you know someone who might benefit from this video, share it with them. Until next time, take care and stay strong.